Samsung has unveiled the new members of the Galaxy A series hot on the heels of the Galaxy S24 premiere. The Galaxy A35 and Galaxy A55 build on the positive reception of the previous models and bring updated designs, performance, and cameras. Today, we will explore the Galaxy A35 in detail. The new Samsung Galaxy A35 looks a lot like the Galaxy A34. As you can imagine, there are only a handful of upgrades, and they were not meant to tempt the Galaxy A34 owners to switch but more to lure new or existing Samsung users with much older phones. So, the Galaxy A35 starts with a new, updated dual-glass design and a more durable Gorilla Glass Victus Plus front panel. The phone is IP67 rated for dust and water resistance and comes in a variety of catchy colors. The screen remains the same as on the Galaxy A34, a 6.6-inch Super AMOLED of extended 1080p resolution and 120Hz refresh rate. The Galaxy A35 brings the same chipset we saw on the Galaxy A54, the Exynos 1385G, so in a way, it can be a good alternative to the A54. The cameras haven't changed much since the Galaxy A34, a high-res main camera, an 8MP ultra-wide, a 5MP macro, and a 13MP selfie. There is a new primary, though, a 50MP OIS imager up from 48MP on the A34. Another new feature available on the Galaxy A35 is the support for Wi-Fi 6 networks. The Galaxy A34 is powered by a 5000 mAh with 25W fast charging support. It runs on Android 14 with One UI 6.1. The competition. At the time of writing, the base 6GB per 128GB Galaxy A35 will set you back about €380 per GBP 340, while the top-tier 8GB per 256GB one retails for around €450 per GBP 390. The middle-of-the-line 8GB per 128GB model seem to be hard to come by in Europe, but easily available in the US for around $390 and in India for about 30,500 Indian rupees. We'd go for the higher RAM amount if possible. Finding good alternatives to the Galaxy A35 is not particularly hard. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus retails for about as much as the Samsung, but its base version comes with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage of the faster UFS 3.1 variety. The Dimensity 7200 Ultra is an excellent chip that outpaces the Exynos 1380 in many aspects. Going for the Redmi, you also get comparable build quality and things like a Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and IP68 ingress protection. Some other niceties include 120W charging on the 5000 mAh battery. It is also worth noting that you can elect to save some money by going for the ever-popular Redmi Note 13 Pro instead and still get a great experience. And if you would like to prioritize performance and are willing to sacrifice some creature comforts along the way, there is the POCO X6 Pro to consider. The new Nothing Phone 2A is an interesting contender for sure. While it is not the best bang for your buck in this segment, there is no denying that it stands out in a good way. Nothing's approach to both hardware and software will have its appeal for the right crowd. We really enjoyed using Nothing OS on the Nothing Phone 2A, and also found that the phone has exceptional battery life in our testing. You will be making some feature compromises though. Speaking of compromises, it is worth mentioning that you can get much of the same Samsung experience and not spend as much by going for the Galaxy A25 instead. Don't expect the same materials and durability. You are notably losing the ingress protection rating and the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. Also, you should expect slower performance overall. But the core of the experience remains unchanged. Finally, if you are in the right market, the Realme 12 Pro Plus is a pretty strong competitor to the Galaxy A35. Some of its highlights include IP65 ingress protection and faster 67W charging on its 5000 mAh battery. Most notably, however, the Realme has a dedicated 3x periscope telephoto as part of its camera setup in case that could entice you. Pros: sturdy build with glass on both sides and IP67 ingress protection. Good quality 120Hz Super AMOLED display. Stereo speakers with good quality. Solid battery life. Latest Android and One UI. Good performance for this price range and great thermal behavior. Solid photo and video quality. 5G, NFC, microSD. Cons: no charger in the box. No HDR video support. The virtual proximity sensor for turning off the screen during calls is not as good as a physical one. Our verdict: the Galaxy A35 is a very well-rounded device through and through. While it doesn't do anything groundbreaking with the tried-and-true Galaxy A formula, it further refines the A3X series. While the Galaxy A25 still arguably comes with quite a few omissions, notably to its build and ingress protection, the A35 is much closer to the A55 in its general offering. With the A35, you get glass on both sides, Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front, and an IP67 ingress protection rating. The 6.6-inch Super AMOLED 120Hz display is still solid without really changing much from previous generations. You also get a solid hybrid stereo speaker setup and a large 5000 mAh battery with solid endurance. Performance-wise, the Exynos 1380 is a nice little step up from the Dimensity 1080 inside the Galaxy A34. It is perfectly adequate for the class and enough to offer a fluent One UI experience. That experience will be a big draw for a lot of people. Very few features are still relegated to Samsung's flagship models and outright missing from the Galaxy A35. Plus, the A35 comes with 4 years of major software updates and 5 years of security updates. That said, there is no point in claiming that the Galaxy A35 is the best in its class. Shopping around, you can get notably better hardware for your money. However, the Galaxy A35 remains attractive in its entirety as a package. We are sure it won't disappoint any prospective buyers. Thank you for watching. See you next videos.